Awesome. So, hi, we are Team 6. It's Sydney Pearsall, Alima DeVerteuil, Kevin Foltz, Kristinee Tate, and I am Brooke Phillips. We have created ConnectTour, a theoretical customized tour consultancy providing personalized tour programming for independent artists based on listening volume and velocity. So independent artists probably ask, do I need to sell my soul to a record label? And the answer is no. We can gather that data for you and make a case for you to get alternative financing for your tour. So our main problem was to figure out how artists can increase customer loyalty and revenue independently without the need for a label. Most independent artists have hurdles to jump over, such as including their base cases for emerging popularity with the data, as well as gaining financing. So our solution to this problem was to provide tour plans for artists growing in popularity, including concert venues, festivals, etc., based on our data collected on present targeting opportunities. We will choose artists who meet the correct criteria, who fall within promising or established categories from the taxonomy of artists from the next big sound. Other criteria also included artists who showed an increase in growth in followers and listeners across a number of platforms, specifically within the last 3 months. These data points were collected through Chartmetrics, Spotify, and the next big sound. So with that being said, I will hand it over to Kevin to explain our data more in depth, as well as our case study.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so for this, we decided to look into the case of Corpse. So Corpse, husband, is actually a YouTube streamer turned dark rapper who is known for his devilishly deep voice. And he actually only started making music about 6 months ago, and he's already an established artist according to Next Big Sound, and has a large following across all the music discovery platforms. So what we did is actually we pulled his daily Spotify streaming data from his top 25 cities for the past 6 months to plan stops on his potential tour. So those graphs on the bottom represent his top 25 cities that are currently in the US. So like honing in on the graph right here. So if we look at the map graph, if we look to the size of the city bubbles, these represent the magnitude of his top daily Spotify streams over the last half year. And here, Chicago had the largest single day streams, with Corpse's top day grabbing him over 70,000 streams in a day with Chicago listeners alone. Now moving on to the color of the graphs. The color of the graph shows the velocity of his Spotify streams over the last 6 months, or the growth from his average daily Spotify streams compared to his most recent numbers. So here, the blue circles actually show where his fan base is growing the fastest among his top US cities, and that's where San Francisco takes the cake. So ConnectTour would suggest Corpse tour in all of these cities, especially the cities with his larger fan bases or those larger circles. But then we would try to send out a little bit more targeted promotional campaigns to the blue cities where his fan base is growing the fastest. And I'll hand it off to Alima, who's going to talk a little bit more in detail about our proposed tour.
Thank you, Kevin. Now to the more fun part of what our company does. As Kevin mentioned before, we would be focused on mostly on the data where we would use the larger cities to create the tour for the artist to engage where his fans are across the nation. We chose these cities across the US to host these events at venues where they will have about approximately 600 people, so that he can host majority of his fans that are in those cities. Then we decided to plan his appearance at nearby festivals where he can engage his current fan base and also expand his fan base across other individuals who may be interested in his music at those festivals. We will promote majority of his tour on his social platforms where he has a robust following, which is on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. And mainly we would focus on his YouTube and TikTok channels because that's where majority of his fan base are, and we will be able to cut costs on paid advertisement.
So with that being said, we do thank you all for taking the time to view our presentation, and we hope that our data can give artists the insights to plan their live shows with ConnectTour. Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you, guys.
10 seconds under. Question.
Yeah, who's that question?
I do. Now the company's called Tour Connect. Is that right?
It's called
ConnectTour.
ConnectTour, kind of like a play on of like Connect4. Just
Cool. That is one of the most incredible applications of data for touring I've seen. Oh my God, bravo.
Thanks.
My one question, of course, is fraught with the industry is the click farm plays and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering how you sift data to get rid of the people that are not being honest. Because somebody could want to secure financing to go on a tour and have a lot of fun after paying for clicks and stuff.
I totally understand that. If we had more time to kind of larger than the weekend, we would want to also, instead of just doing like streams on Spotify, they would try and like create a kind of like a metric where it would be a like kind of like an active listener. So it would be like people who kind of stream at least like 10 or so times before, and also maybe have those streams spread out over a period of time. So it's not just someone just like spamming the stream button over and over again to fool our algorithm. So if we had more time, we would probably build something in, but we just had the weekend.
A weekend. Oh my goodness. And you the team just kind of randomly was connected this weekend as well?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
You guys are y'all are great. Oh my goodness. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mara, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question about how you think about this like velocity metric versus kind of consistent listeners over time. Like, would it be better for artists to visit a city where they're like really blowing up in the past week, or where they've had like months and months of listening? And how will you think about that difference when you're recommending where to go?
Yeah, I think we just used velocity over like a 6-month span just to kind of show, like, we were just trying to show like in different cities, like where like the fan base was growing the most. But I understand your question as like, maybe it's better to have a consistent fan base. So I think this was just kind of like the first metric we would use. And if we want to build it out more, we will build something more sophisticated to not just use that like 6 months velocity, and kind of create a more holistic kind of approach to when we what city we recommend and when.
Again, it's excellent, especially in a weekend, and you guys just met. That's fantastic. My question is, why specifically prioritize independent artists? Wouldn't this be an application that would be of use to booking agencies or other elements of the business, or is that a moral issue for you?
Brooke, Alima, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely take this one. The reason why we chose independent artists, because we see now today within the music industry that a lot of artists are moving toward that independent status versus being connected to a record label. So because this is a common trend that is happening today and is very prevalent, we decided to focus on that. We saw that that may be a huge avenue that we can target that's possibly being overlooked because it's still so new for not only the artists, but also for record labels as well, and maybe other agencies. But we just wanted to be the first to say, hey, independent artists, we see you, we hear you, and we want to expand you.